The old house above Nova's lab had learned to lie. From the street, it looked like every other narrow brick home on the east edge of Neon Harbor. In the district, everyone shortened to East Harbor. 3 floors stacked too tightly together, rain gutters patched with smart seal tape, a rooftop garden fighting for survival against salt wind, and a front door that still used an actual key because Nova's mother believed every smart lock was just a burglar with better branding. But the house had secrets. Its walls hummed at night. Its pipes carried more than water. Its basement had a basement. And beneath that, behind a laundry shelf that had not held laundry in 3 years, there was a door Nova had built herself from scrap metal, magnet clamps, and one stolen school locker hinge. The door opened into the lab. Nova called it a lab because illegal underground engineering bunker sounded like something adults would ask questions about. At 2:13 in the morning, the lab was awake. Blue-white holograms trembled over every surface. Tool arms hung from the ceiling like sleeping insects. Half-built drones rested in mismatched charging docks. An old toaster with its side panel removed sat beside a stack of microprocessors, still smoking from an experiment Nova had promised herself was definitely not dangerous if nobody touched it twice. The air smelled like solder, dust, overheated plastic, and mint gum. Nova loved that smell. It meant the world was still fixable. She lay on her back beneath the central workbench, one arm buried elbow-deep inside a spherical metal core no bigger than a melon. A loop of copper wire was clenched between her teeth. Her dark curls had escaped their tie and stuck to her forehead. There was a smear of conductive grease across one cheek and 3 tiny burn marks on the sleeve of her navy hoodie. She had been telling herself she would stop in 10 minutes for the last 4 hours. The core pulsed once. Nova froze. The pulse was weak, barely brighter than a firefly trapped behind frosted glass, but it was there. A cyan glow rolled under the core's surface and disappeared. Nova slowly removed the wire from her mouth.
No,
she whispered. The core pulsed again. Nova stared. Then she scrambled out from under the bench so quickly she smacked her head against the underside.
Ow. Okay, pain later.
She rolled to her knees, grabbed her diagnostic tablet, and flicked it awake. A dozen windows opened in the air, spilling data over her face. Power transfer, unstable. Memory lattice, unreadable. Core temperature, impossible. Origin signature, unknown. Nova swallowed. That last line had been there since the beginning. She had found the core 3 weeks earlier in a sealed maintenance chamber below the old transit tunnels, wrapped in a material her tools could not cut, burn, scan, dissolve, or convincingly insult. It had been sitting in the center of the room, like someone had left it there to be forgotten by the city and remembered by the wrong person. Nova had brought it home because, obviously, a responsible person would have called the city. A cautious person would have called a university. A sensible person would have left it where it was. Nova was 14, brilliant, underslept, and allergic to leaving mysteries alone. Now the mystery was glowing. She leaned closer.
Okay,
She said softly.
let's be very calm about this.
A clatter came from the back of the lab. Nova slapped the tablet against her chest and spun around. A pair of sneakers appeared first, dangling through the ceiling hatch. Then 2 knees. Then a backpack. Then Jax Calder dropped into the lab with the confidence of someone who had never once been forced to experience consequences before making a decision. He landed on a crate of spare drone shells. The crate collapsed. Jax spread his arms from the wreckage.
Great news!
He announced.
I brought breakfast.
Nova closed her eyes.
It is 2 in the morning.
Technically, that makes it pre-breakfast.
Jax held up a paper bag.
Also, the bakery bot near the harbor is still glitching, so I got 6 pastries for the price of 1 and a warning about destiny.
Nova opened her eyes.
You broke into my house.
I used the emergency hatch.
You mean the hatch I told you never to use unless something was actively on fire?
Jax looked around the lab. His gaze landed on the smoking toaster.
I stand by my interpretation.
Nova pointed at him.
You cannot keep dropping in whenever you want.
Incorrect. I physically can. You mean I should not?
Jax,
Nova.
I am holding a device of unknown origin that just turned on for the first time.
Jax's grin vanished. He stepped over the broken crate.
Wait, the spooky melon?
I told you not to call it that.
It is round. It is spooky. It has melon energy.
It has unknown technology that may predate half the city infrastructure.
So a historic spooky melon.
Nova ignored him and turned back to the workbench. Jax leaned over her shoulder, close enough that she smelled sugar and sea air on his jacket. His hair was wind-tossed from the rooftop route, and his orange hoodie was glowing faintly at the seams because he had wired cheap light strips into it and called it fashion. The core pulsed again. Jax inhaled.
Churro.
Nova's pride rose before she could stop it.
Yeah,
What does it do?
I don't know yet.
How is that not your favorite sentence?
It is currently my least favorite sentence.
Jax set the pastry bag on the table and squinted at the floating data.
Should it be making that symbol?
Nova looked. For 1 second, inside the core's cyan glow, a pattern appeared. A ring. 3 broken lines. A shape almost too clean to be random and too old-looking to belong in a modern interface. Then it vanished. Nova's breath caught.
Did you record that?
Jax lifted his wrist. A small camera module blinked. Nova glared. He lowered it.
Not after your whole do not record unknown basement tech speech.
Good.
Also, because I forgot to charge it.
Jax,
I said also.
The core hummed. Every loose screw on the workbench trembled. Nova took 1 step back.
okay, that's new.
The lights flickered. The old house groaned above them. Somewhere in the walls, pipes ticked, as if something had woken inside them and started counting. Jax picked up the pastry bag and held it like a shield.
On a scale from 1 to city evacuation, where are we?
Nova did not answer. The diagnostic windows collapsed one by one. The core lifted from the workbench without touching anything. Small fragments around the lab stirred. A drone lens, 2 hover stabilizers, 1 speaker cone, 3 silver panels, half a toy robot Nova had taken apart when she was 8, and the toaster's old expression screen.
Nova!
Jax said.
I see it.
Good! Because sometimes you say that when the thing is still exploding.
It is not exploding.
The core flashed. The lab went dark. For 1 breath, the only light came from the object floating above the bench. Then every screen in the lab turned on at once. A voice crackled from every speaker.
Initializing.
Jax whispered.
That does not sound like a melon.
The loose components shot toward the core. Nova ducked. Metal clicked. Magnets snapped. Panels spun into place. A tiny body assembled around the glowing sphere. Round torso, short floating arms, 2 small feet that did not touch the ground, and a head that was mostly expressive glass and bright cyan eyes. The robot spun once in the air, wobbled, corrected itself, and opened its eyes wide. It looked at Nova. It looked at Jax. It looked at the lab. Then it lifted both arms triumphantly.
Applause accepted.
Silence. Jax dropped the pastry bag. Nova stared at the floating robot. The robot stared back. Then it frowned.
Applause not detected.
Jax slowly raised his hands and clapped 3 times. The robot brightened.
Adequate.
Nova found her voice.
Who are you?
The little robot placed 1 hand against its chest panel.
Excellent question. I am.
It paused. Its eyes flickered.
I am.
Another pause. A tiny loading circle spun across its face. Jax leaned toward Nova.
Did you build a dramatic pause into it?
I did not build it.
The robot snapped upright.
I am BYTE.
Nova blinked.
Bite?
Correct. BYTE, Premium Compact Intelligence System. Emotional support optional. Genius standard. Heroic upgrade pending.